Okay.
So it would also be fair to say that.
Hold on, I still have Law Talk with Mike going on.
That you can be incorrect.
Okay. Well, I know there's no one here right now. I know everyone's probably over with Law Talk with Mike with the Waukesha murder case going on. I have not actually been paying super close attention to that. I don't even know where to look. I'm using my laptop. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm using my laptop today because last night I couldn't read the live chat if anyone's here. So hopefully this will allow me to interact with folks if anybody even shows up. Oh, it looks like someone's here. Yay, hello, whoever is watching. So, okay, what's kind of going on? There's a couple cases. There's one big case here in Michigan that I'm going to be covering. So far, it's been in front of Judge Middleton. And I'm struggling with this case, and I am honestly struggling. It is a child abuse case. Sorry, hopefully it doesn't get picked up. Anyways, okay. Anyways, okay, sorry, I'm trying to get situated. I don't even have anything. I don't have a setup. We're winging it tonight. So this case is in front of Judge Middleton. It involves a 9-month-old baby. The mother's boyfriend was living there at the time. He had been out on parole for just a couple of months. Hold on. I'm using my laptop so that I can look at everything, because everything's on my phone, of course. So the case is, that's the wrong one. I'll get my ish together at some point, guys, I promise. Sorry, and I am kind of running behind. I had a doctor's appointment that ran late. So, I mean, it was a good reason to run late. It was my pain management specialist doctor, and I went back because the neurosurgeon, his office is kind of like, well, we're not really, I don't know if they're actually covering pain management. So I made an appointment with him, and he's like, nope, you're doing great. And my physician, my primary care doctor, is retiring at the end of the year because he's burned out. So it's kind of up in the air as to like kind of how we're going to go forward from here. I don't know why my light is flickering. It's raining, but all of our utility lines are buried because we're out in the country. I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so the case is, I don't want that video. Eventually, I'll also be able to figure out how to use a streaming thing so I can bring up videos. So it's, I don't want that. The mom is Amanda Wood, she's 33, and her boyfriend, Jason Haskins, are 39. Now, this happened. I am scatterbrained. I promise next time I will have this more together. This happened, end of August or beginning of August. Dog, that's Fritz. He's mad because it's raining or something. They were arraigned on August 19th, actually in front of Judge Middleton. I did miss the first. Really? Come here, Fritz. Come here. Come on, Bubba. He's a jerk. Anyways, yeah, this is pretty bad. So they were arraigned August 19th, I think. And I didn't know about the case. I actually caught the case because I was watching Judge Middleton because I bounce around from all the courtrooms. And I caught the second half of I think it was the preliminary exams, where it was the expert physician on child abuse at the hospital. And I started crying. It's pretty bad. This live stream is going to be monetized. I'm going to bring the case. None of it's going to be monetized because it would just be demonetized because of the case. So they were charged with the abuse of the 9-month-old baby. 11-month-old was when he was taken to the hospital. He had multiple broken bones, like ribs, legs, both of his legs. They at one point they talked about there was fractures to the growth plates, which that can actually affect your ability to develop and grow as a normal child. He also had the ME in his system, and not like an amount from contact. It was direct ingestion. Yeah, it was bad. When he was taken to the hospital, he had 104-degree fever. So yeah, they didn't expect him to survive. Apparently the baby is doing really, really well. But okay, so the mom's boyfriend, actually, this weekend I was going to record about the case, but I actually found the boyfriend in Otis, which is the offender tracking information system for the state of Michigan. And I'm going to include the links, but it's Jason Paul Haskin is his name. By the way, these charges it's alleged, nothing's proven, so they're innocent until proven guilty. I'm just talking about sort of kind of what my knowledge is of the case. I'm going off of news articles that I found and what I watched during the second half of the preliminary, I think, examination. The rule is for the case, they are live streaming it despite, the defense attorneys, what they want. But they're leaving it up until 5 p.m. the following day for media to get the information. And I guess I'm sort of kind of media, sort of where I don't know, whatever that is. Anyway, so that's how I got the second half. It's why I didn't know about the first half, is because it was, pulled down 24 hours later. I have yet to find the actual first half of the videos or of the hearing. I will probably at some point get a copy of the transcript if I'm even able to. I don't know. It is Judge Middleton, but it's a fairly public case at this point. So the big thing is this boyfriend, Jason Haskin. This guy's 6 foot tall, 190 pounds, 39 years old. Well, his current status is parolee, released to court on writ, 8/25/2022. Supervision began 5/13/2021 out of Macomb County. So this is over by Detroit. And St. Joseph County is on the other side of the state, about an hour from Lake Michigan. So literally a 2 to 3 hour drive apart from the two counties. He was paroled on January, February, March, April, May, June 13th, 2021. Okay. Thought he was paroled later. But his sentence number 1 was assault with a dangerous weapon, which is felonious assault. And then his probation, he had probation for domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual, 3rd offense. So this is not his first. That one was back in 2019, and he was sentenced June 1st of 2020. And that was a nolo plea, so nolo contendere. So that's his active probation sentence, was third offense of domestic violence. So clearly, based on his convictions, not a great guy. He had another inactive case that's already gone, was assault with a dangerous weapon, which is felonious assault. And that was sentenced in 2006. The offense was in 2005. Fourth one, the offense was breaking and entering a building with intent, an attempt. That was in 2001. And actually, there's nothing more about domestic violence, so that must be older. But like his supervision conditions are, no violations of any criminal law, contact agent no later than the first business day after release, must not change residence. So yeah, he changed residence a lot. Actually, he moved way out of the area. Can't leave the state without the permission, must not use or possess alcohol or intoxicants. And absolutely, yes, he was. Allegedly that it's actually testified about in this hearing, the video that I do have, that it was the crystal, what. So he was definitely violating his parole. He had alcohol testing, whether or not he was drinking. I think there was testimony that he may have been. I'm not 100%. I have to rewatch it. He has to complete substance abuse or reentry program as referred by his agent. There's drug testing, not to use or have any controlled substances or drug items, outpatient substance abuse treatment, monthly reporting, must not leave. This goes on. He has to complete the programs, must attend programs, notify change of residence, not engage in any behavior that constitutes a violation, written consent to search, must reside at the location when paroled. He can't be around people. He has to obey all court orders. He's on a behavior order. No weapons. He can't associate with anyone known to have a felony record, which is normal, but yeah, must make genuine efforts to find employment. And my understanding is he had not. I don't believe he was working. Firearm part is not a problem. Oh, I had to pay the crime victims assessment, the other kind of stuff. And then the, special conditions, written verbal orders, which I don't know what those were. So anyways, like I said, this record that I have that's on Otis is from the last date of offense is 2001. And he's currently facing charges now in 2022. So 21 years, I think. I don't math. I'm horrible with math. So I think it's like 20 years. And that's just his kind of current cases. So yeah, this guy is not good. In my opinion, the mom should not have been involved with this guy. Especially having him around your little children. I don't know what the mom thought would happen. I don't know. There was testimony that the mom was in treatment, outpatient treatment. Whether or not there was some question as to whether she was actively in treatment, like it's in the video because a neighbor testifies. Obviously, this is a case where there are minor children involved. Normally, I would not use the victim's name, the baby's name, but because there's news articles left and right that have already identified the child, I will include that child's name or likeness. She does have, I believe, one other child. That name, I will not be disclosing that information. There are witnesses that are minor children or neighbors, whatever, I am going to be blocking out everybody else's names other than the accused and the victim, or like expert testimony, like the doctor that's an expert witness, or like state police. Those type of things I'll obviously be, using at least their last names. And I'm going to preface it with this: do not contact anyone as much as you want to. Don't harass these people. In my opinion, are not necessarily. They are dealing with substance use issues. Many of them, and I don't need people harassing them. I know I don't have a huge following as of right now. Whatever, I don't care. This is going to be out there. So yeah, that's a tough case for me. Just because of the nature of the case, I don't tolerate bullies. I don't tolerate people that use other people. That's not something I allow. When I was younger, at 18, I got my EMT license. Then I went through the police academy. Yes, I'm a bootlicker, whatever. It's because we live in rural Michigan, and we had a program. They're county medics. So they were deputies that were paramedics, because we had so many local ambulance companies and fire departments that were all volunteer. So they didn't necessarily have, hey, Alex, I just see ya. Ha! Alex Falcone of Our Nevada Judges is here. He and I are actually going to be doing a live stream together talking about my court case. I was actually late getting on here because I was on the phone with Alex. Probably next week-ish. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, so there was this county medic program, and I knew deputies, and I kind of was like, oh, that's cool. Not only helping people medically, but then as far as law enforcement goes. So I went through the academy, and it was, I think, either just a few days before or like shortly after I graduated, they discontinued the program with the county. So then I ended up going on to paramedic school. And then I continued further education and working in emergency and trauma medicine. In 2006, I was hit head-on by a drunk driver. I don't remember the accident. There's a few little flashes of memory. Everything else that I know from it is because I've been told so many times. I had a brain injury. The hospital almost killed me. They missed C1, C2 fracture, which the top two vertebrae of your back, they literally hold your head up, and it's what allows you to nod and turn your head. And if you have significant fractures of those, you will die. You can't breathe. You are literally paralyzed the whole way down from your brainstem down. So they missed those fractures. I literally fractured most of my spine, tore all the ligaments and everything in my chest. Their x-rays, I have had so many traumatic fractures to my rib cage. It's insane. But the brain injury, I have issues with memory. I also have ADHD. So, Alex did the video camera thing. Actually, I can pull this closer, couldn't I? There. Now you can see me even closer, guys. Scary, I know. Anyways, so that's kind of my background. One of the things that I did do while I was working on the ambulance, I was a domestic violence advocate, and then I was an investigator with the local sheriff's department. Because when I was 18, I had been in a relationship that ended up being very violent. Fritz, really, dude? Sorry, we still have some of those like Japanese beetle bugs. They apparently came out of whatever today, so there was one in my house. Anyways, where was I? So yeah, so I have a history. I'm really familiar with at least, most of the domestic violence laws in Michigan. They were on the books either 1994 or 95, and we actually had some of the strongest domestic violence laws of the time. I don't know where we stand now. I have not really necessarily been involved in that stuff in quite some time. I did have an abusive ex right before I met my husband. He had alcohol use issues. I tried to leave a couple times. I went to a DV shelter. He found me and picked me up, and like I had a hysterectomy, and he threw a bottle of whiskey at me, and I ended up in the hospital because he threw it at my stomach. And they sent me to the shelter, and he found me like 2 days later because it's Battle Creek. It's not that big of a city. The crime rate is way bigger than it should be for a city that size. So like that, you know, and I'll say this about domestic DV, sorry. When a woman is leaving, that is the most dangerous time for her. So when people are like, oh, why does she keep going back? Why doesn't she leave? Because when she does, that is the most dangerous point. Because these people will do anything they can to continue to have complete control over their person. So if I hear victim blaming, shaming, whatever, I don't tolerate that. I've survived it several times. I am part of the 93% of American women. I have survived a lot, and there's really at this point not much more that someone can do. Well, I don't think there's anything more that someone could do that I haven't already survived. I'm pretty tough chick. Yes, I have CPTSD, so complex PTSD. Whatever, I can't control that. I've lived through some horrific trauma that no child ever should have survived. No one should ever have been through what I've been through, but I did. It's made me a stronger person. Obviously, I can talk for hours about absolutely nothing. My family always thought I was probably going to be an attorney because I like to talk and debate and argue everything, and that just wasn't for me. I had a different idea. I wanted to go into medicine and help people. But this is where I'm at. I now have a YouTube channel. I'll address the troll thing again. I am not stealing content from anyone. I have one video that I have yet to edit of Irish Demon during a live stream where I was in the live stream moderating his chat. And if you watch his live stream, I actually says, oh, he's like, yeah, Jess, you can record it. That's fine. So I'm not stealing anything, even if we are covering the same clips, you know, in the whole LawTube category. And I don't consider myself necessarily a LawTuber. I'm not an attorney. I'm basing comments off of what limited knowledge I do have and my opinions and what I think is right and wrong, my value system. So, but there's not like a competition. Like we're not competing against each other because we all do things differently and we don't cover the cases the same way. So whatever, there's not a competition. There's not. Even if I'm covering the same thing someone else does, so we talk to each other. Who cares? Anyways, the bigger thing, and I've talked about it a little bit, and I finally can start to talk about it now, is I had a guy who, by Michigan law, was stalking me online. I talked about yesterday in my live stream about how I kind of got involved with all of this LawTube stuff and how sort of my channel came around. I love true crime, serial killer stuff. Like I'm the type of person I want to talk. I want to figure out why people are the way they are. That is very intriguing to me. I almost thought about going into psychiatry. Sorry, my husband is calling me. Babe, I'm live streaming. That's okay. What do you want to do for dinner? Nacho sounds good. All right, get some juice and Coke Zero. All right, love you. All right, bye. Okay. Sorry, now the whole world knows we're having nachos for dinner, guys. he's getting better about that, and he's like, "Oh, I'll let you go." No, dog, it's raining. Come on, Bubba. Sorry, he gets angry. He's scared. that's a whole different story. So because of that, that's how I started getting these cases that would show up in my suggested feed, because I would literally search on YouTube for documentaries, true crime, that kind of stuff. So more and more videos started showing up in my suggested feed or whatever, my recommendations. And I stumbled across Michael McDonald. And this was before his criminal case, okay? I stumbled across the family court case. I don't think there was a criminal court case yet. I think it was before he was charged and all that stuff. So a couple of his family court cases showed up and I watched them. I was just like, what the hell? What is wrong with this guy? Like, in my opinion, he's not okay mentally. I think he has, in my opinion, some narcissistic personality issues. This is not a diagnosis. This is my opinion based on what I've seen of his behavior. So I started watching the videos, and I'm not going to mention the channel's name because I'm not going to give them any energy or send people there. I ended up making a playlist so I could watch it in order because they were not uploaded in order. And then I posted on my Facebook, like, hey, I know I have friends that like this. If you're into this thing, you guys need to check out this case. It's insane. So one of my friends on Facebook, she watched, she's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then she's like, oh, I found this group on Facebook, Nevada Court Watchers. She's like, they're talking about the case. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. And I was kind of whatever. And I ended up checking it out, and I didn't join for a couple of weeks, actually, because I was kind of like, don't want to get involved in that drama. But then I realized, like, there were people that really knew, kind of, that was Nevada. They really had an understanding of the law and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up joining the group so that I could join in the discussion, because I had questions, and I'm like, what the heck? So that is how I got involved in Nevada Court Watchers. Contrary to popular belief, I don't have an obsession with Nevada Family Court, Nevada Court. It showed up in my suggested feed on YouTube because someone out there uploaded it. So that's how that started. And what happened after, how it continued on, it's crazy. And it's one of those things that I don't know if there are other people that have been through what I've been through. It is so bizarre and off the wall. Like, I don't know. Well, I literally know 2 other people that are in a lawsuit for the exact same thing. With the exact same opposing party. Other than that, hey, Tony, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. We have some apple pie, right? I have apples. I went to the apple orchard on Sunday. I have like 2 bushels of apples on my counter, so we can have some pie. And for all of my trolls and haters, I'll talk about pie. I love eating apple pie. I am actually officially under 250 pounds at this point, which means I am over 200 pounds down. And it wasn't from being lazy and fat. It was all from health conditions. So, fuck you, motherfucker. Okay. Get that out of the way. So, sorry. This has been going on for 2 years, right? And I've had to sort of stay quiet. I understand I'm kicking a bee's nest, whatever. I'm to the point where I can now start talking about it. So there was a certain person that got involved with this other group, as Michael McDonald's attorney, Craig Mueller, said, opposing faction. Your English just slow. You do. Okay. Well, I don't know. I have an adopted sister that's English, so yeah. Anyways, so there's the opposing factions with Nevada Court Watchers and this other Nevada group. Okay. At one point, the Craig Mueller tried to accuse us or said we're akin to like Eastern European mafia or something. I'd have to go back and watch the hearings, the trials. I mean, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm half Polish, I'm half Eastern European, but as far as I know, I'm not related. I don't even call the house phone, we don't answer it. So we have it just in case with my health stuff. If I need to call 911, now though we have GPS enabled here in our county, so I can call from my cell phone. They still know where I'm at. Thank you. Have to remember next time to turn that off. I'll get it right, guys, someday. Hey, I don't even one Aerophenia, one Ironaut? Did I say that right? Yes, I'm glad you caught me live. This is actually only my second live stream. I did my first one last night and I couldn't even read the comments. Whatever, that's fine. Okay. 10K Quan, as in pretty hot and tempting? Because I'll take that. If you're calling me fat as in overweight, yep, I am. Okay. Close. I was close enough. Good. I'm close enough with the pronunciation. So anyways, there are the opposing factions, to quote Craig Mueller. And so this guy, you know what? Fuck it. T. Matthew Phillips is his name. Okay? Todd Matthew Phillips. I hope you're watching this. I hope you catch this. I hope you find this. And you can go fuck yourself, dude. Go fuck yourself. So there. Sorry. This has been 2 years of fucking hell. So he had, I don't even know, a family court case for his divorce. And the finding of facts from his divorce case came to life, but he had already been harassing me. He sent me a private message on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. I didn't know who he was. I envying myself. I'm crazy, whatever. This is me, guys. Never enough caffeine. Did I mention the ADHD? That's been going on since I was diagnosed at 11, I think. Anyways, so yes, I got a message from this guy, and let me see. Open phone. I can actually read it to you because I just reinstalled Messenger. So when I do these videos, when I record them, and I have to edit them in order to import it from editing, I literally have to remove all the apps on my phone. So I have enough space so I can then upload it to YouTube. It is pretty crazy. How do I have two? Oh, I had 2 message requests. Sorry. I have not really been on Facebook lately or Instagram, a little bit here and there. Let me see. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to scroll back, apparently. Okay, so I know now what had happened. Oh, 10K Quan, are you T. Matthew Phillips? Lame ass, get off Facebook, that shit old ASL? If your friend snitches on you, shoddy my heart. I don't know, I'm not an attorney. So I don't have any advice to give. I'm a lame ass, guys. Yay! Whatever. I hope that is you, Todd Matthew Phillips. You fuck. You lost your case. That's right. You lost your appeal. You lost your underlying case. You lost your appeal. What are you going to do? Sue me again? Go ahead. Same judges, same motions, same attorneys. What are you going to do? You have nothing. You have absolutely jack shit. These are my opinions, my feelings, findings of facts, court filings, public records. Court records. Okay? So what are you going to say? I'm the fucking police. Huh. Actually, no. I did go to the police academy. I was never a police officer. Yeah, I agree. There is... Tony, who am I avoiding? You identify as a zoophile? I have no idea what that means. What is a zoophile? Did I say that right? Like, you identify as a zoo? I literally don't know what that means, and I am not going to look it up. Anyways, getting back to what I was talking about, I know now people were in the Nevada court watchers were talking about this guy. Oh, you like animals? Good for you. I love my dogs, I guess. Anyways, they gave Todd a nickname of, I think it was Tiny Dancer or something, which I didn't know. But I kept getting notifications because there was comments, there were posts, and it was all saying Tiny Dancer, whatever. And I don't remember what I was doing, but every time I got the notification, it made the Elton John song start in my head. I love music, so that's another big thing. So I ended up posting. I'm like, oh my God, every time you guys say Tiny Dancer, it is I have an earwig, whatever, and I now have Tiny Dancer stuck in my head. It was like, so whatever. Now you guys can watch the video and enjoy the misery with me. The misery of it being stuck in my head because it's really annoying. So I actually just posted the link to the YouTube video for Elton John's Tiny Dancer. Apparently, then that made me open for harassment. 10K Quan, I remember you. If you're Todd, yeah, I know exactly who you are. And if you're Todd, you're a worthless fuck, in my opinion. So I don't even know if I got the private message first, or if it was him commenting on one of my posts on my Facebook. And there was another person who I believe at some point said she was his daughter. Michael Haywood. I have no idea. Michael Haywood? I'm sorry, I don't remember a Michael Haywood. I do not know you. But if you go back, I talked about being hit head on by a drunk driver and having a brain injury. So, hello, Jesse E. from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm in Michigan, which we jokingly refer to as South Canada. Anyways, geez, oh, Pete, there's so many. This goes back 2 years, so there's a lot of messages I'm trying to get through. So this person that she said, I honestly, I don't know the relationship. I know she's at one point somewhere said she was his daughter, and it might have been on a video on YouTube. I don't know. Tony, why do Americans disrespect police and emergency services, etc.? So the problem with that is systemic racism. Used to be that EMS and everything, those were safe people. There were always issues with racism and cops. It's corruption, bottom line. And it's to where our police are overfunded. For an example, Ann Arbor, the city of Ann Arbor. Yeah, it's U of M. During school, there's a lot of people. I was headed to U of M for a medical appointment, and I had stopped at a Starbucks, and there was a shop, I don't know if they were a body shop, something behind or next to the Starbucks, and they literally had 3 bear cats for the Ann Arbor Police Department. Why does the Ann Arbor Police Department need 3 Bearcats? They don't. That is overkill. I mean, maybe they might need something like that in Detroit or Grand Rapids, possibly Battle Creek, but like every police department, every county does not need a SWAT team. We have one here in the Lansing area, and it's Tri-County. It's 3 counties. You know, I think it's just, and don't get me wrong, they're not all cops are bad. I get that, but there are enough of them there that really make it hard for other cops. And it does. It makes it tough. Why people target EMS or firemen, like I know in Detroit, EMS and firefighters have to wear bulletproof vests because if you're in a uniform, you will get shot at. Yes, I have treated firemen and EMTs and paramedics for gunshot wounds. Okay? That's just what it is. It sucks. I wish that we could figure out the balance that we need, get the appropriate, community services that we need. Hey, Donna. Oh, Bearcats. Okay, Bearcats are like a big armored vehicle, almost sort of like a tank. You can open up the back doors where they can jump out and run. They can use the actual vehicle to plow into a building or another vehicle. They move pretty slow because they're very heavy, and they literally carry the SWAT teams around. I don't know what they're really called. I'm not sure if Bearcat is a nickname. I just know that's what we call them. Oh gosh. Sorry. So like I actually know our local sheriff. Like there's a message from him in my Facebook messages. I grew up with his nephew, graduated with his nephew. So yeah, I live in a very small area. Like, oh gosh darn it, where is this? I used to be able to just look his name up and it would bring it right up. Whoa, there's Julie Hammer. She's another one from Las Vegas. Got messages from her. I have a message from our current governor in my Facebook messengers. Guys, this is crazy. Anyways, so this chick who may or may not be his daughter, big thing is they're anti-vaxxers. I know that's the direct connection, is they're vaccine abolitionists, so they don't think there should be any vaccines. Anyways, that's the connection that I know of for sure. She had went and taken some pictures off of my Facebook, probably my Instagram. One of the photos was in 2019. I had a spinal cord stimulator implanted to help with some of the back pain. And I actually was talking about it, and I had taken photos and did some posts talking about it because there's people have questions that are doing it. It's a scary thing. I'm bionic. I have an implanted device, a generator battery pack in my hip that has electrodes that sit up against my spinal cord. And when it's on, it is literally sending electrical pulses to my spinal cord to counteract the nerve signals from my spine. So to block the pain signal. Anyways, I had taken a photo or a video, and I had because it's low on my left hip, I had rolled down the waistband of my pants or whatever. And I'll tell you right now, I say I have no acetal disease. I have a flat butt. As some people call it, a flat Irish ass, because yes, I'm Irish too. So, there we go. I found it. Okay. So it started off with, he sent me a link to, I don't know I think it's his website. But his first message is, Willick is a loser. That's why he lost. But I guess Abrams instructs you not to mention this fact. And let's see. He sent that February 23rd, 2020 at 11:22 a.m. I responded the same day at 11:49 a.m. Yeah, see, that's the bad part about the stims. Either they work or they don't. And anyone that wants to talk about it, absolutely reach out. My advice is do the trial. That's how you're gonna know. Anyway, so back to this message. I responded at 11:49 a.m. Who is Abrams? And he's like, the girlfriend of this guy, and it is a meme of Marshall Willick, who is an attorney in Las Vegas, a family court attorney. And it says the real reason why Marshall Willick lost on his girlfriend's anti-slap motion. And he said, but you already knew that. My response, oh. Then he said, how much does Abrams pay you? And I'm like, no, I didn't, because I didn't know who he was talking about. And then he said, your hero Steve Willick lost because he's a bitch. Tell him to sue me so I can take his money. My response is, who's Steve Willick? Because it's Marshall Willick, not Steve. And his response was, who am I? And by that point, I clicked on his profile. So I was like, you're the anti-vaxxer that sued California to stop the bill that would force everyone to be vaccinated or something like that. And that's true. He filed a lawsuit on behalf of a group of moms in California because there was some bill that I don't know if it was passed, it was going to make vaccines mandatory for every school child. And I believe he sort of won that case. I don't remember. This is years ago. It's 2 years ago now. So that's what I knew about him. And he says, yeah, and I'm the guy who's gonna all you cunts. Which, to me, is I'm going to fuck all you cunts, right? I'm your worst fucking nightmare. I'm going to expose you and all the other paid online actors. Which, that was, I think, something that Craig Mueller said. I don't know. And then he said, play dumb for me some more. And I said, okay, so who exactly is supposed to be paying me? Because I need to sue them as I haven't seen a penny from them. Guess what? I still haven't been paid by anybody. I haven't turned in time sheets or whatever. And then his response was, just curious, how much do you weigh? You're a biggin, huh? Which I had already stopped interacting with him at that point. Then, because I didn't respond, he blocked me. And then I found him commenting on a couple of my posts. And I went back like the next day or something. Yeah, my house is dirty. No, I just have a bunch of shit. Okay, you want to talk about the condition of my house? Motherfucker, I just had my spine fused. Okay? You want to talk about that? Go fuck yourself, dude. I'm a distrusting bitch. Okay, whatever. I'm going to assume that this 10K Kwan is T. Matthew Phillips or this Christina chick who may or may not be his daughter. Or if you're just a regular troll, hey, have fun. Anyways, that was the initial contact with this guy, him messaging me. And off and on, he posted memes of me saying fake stuff about me, picking on me, talking about my disabilities, mocking me for my disabilities, mocking me for my appearance, mocking me for my weight, mocking me for my health conditions. He even made a meme that was fake about me because I had the BLM sticker thing and me talking about how there's two people that I don't like Black Lives Matters except for these two people, which I don't even understand why he said that. It didn't make any sense. Tony, he can see you apparently. So I didn't even open my next can of Coke. Coke Zero, by the way, 0 calories. So yeah, go fuck yourself. So yeah, I mean, there was stuff like that. And I was friends with a woman that had been elected as a judge in Nevada, in Las Vegas. And we had something in common. We went with flat aesthetic closure after breast cancer. A little history. I had breast cancer when I was 15 months old. They removed it. I didn't develop on that side at 14. I made the decision to undergo reconstructive surgery because I had had a mishap with a external prosthesis. Drink water. I drink over a gallon of water a day. What's your point, dude? So I had gone through different stages. I was still having pain in 2019, and we couldn't figure out we were addressing all these different issues. I still couldn't figure out why nothing was working, and I was still so sick. And I did research, and I was like, it's either latent Lyme disease, because I had been bit by a tick when I was 16, because it's rural Michigan, and we missed it then, or it's breast implant illness, which honestly I did not even think was actually a thing. Oh, you're not my dude. Okay. Fat Albert. If I remember correctly, Fat Albert was funny, so I'll take that. You're gonna make fun of my weight some more? Okay. Go for it, dude. I got weighed at the doctor's this afternoon. I weigh 243 pounds. I'm also 6 foot tall, and I can leg press 800 pounds. So now what? I am built like a fucking NFL linebacker. I did martial arts, kickboxing. My instructor was a champion kickboxer. One kick, and I knocked his ass out. I kicked him, and he went across and slammed into a wall. So what? I am built. I know it. Go fuck yourself. Gonna make fun of my weight, okay? Whatever. You're dumb. In my opinion. Allegedly. I don't think you have very many brain cells, in my opinion. Giant growth in your ass. Oh, wait, that's right. Didn't 10K Quan, you said you were this Matthew, what was it? Oh, why am I reading those negative comments? Or where am I? They're in the live chat. If you go up. That's right. That Tony Kwan said he was who? Michael somebody? I don't know who it is. I don't remember. Dude, I have a brain injury. Half of my left frontal lobe is gone. My pituitary gland is gone from the brain damage. So, yeah, I don't remember shit. We're good. And if you're salty because I don't remember, I'm sorry about your luck. I don't know who you are. I apologize. If you can remind me of... Yeah, Mike Haywood. I'm sorry. I don't remember the name. I started off at 18 working on an ambulance, and I continued working in emergency medicine until my car accident. Do you know how many people I've encountered in my life? Literally millions of people. I'm sorry, I can't remember everyone. If that hurts your feel-goods, I'm sorry. I don't remember you. If you can refresh my memory of how I would remember you, great. I mean, if I have met you in the past, how you doing? I mean, I'd hope things are going well for you. If they're not, I'm sorry. I don't know why you're so angry. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about that. Yeah. So, anyways, so going back to T-Mat, right? T-period, T-pot, whatever we're calling him. He had made a post about this judge attributing a false quote about vaccines and her being anti-vax. And I was like, people were kind of on it. She had said multiple times, stop making, putting out these false quotes. I'm not saying the stuff that's not from Matt. Fritz, come post. Now. Fritz, get away from the door. Sorry, he is my retired service dog, so he still sort of listens. And there were people on that post, like, saying stuff, and I was, I defended her. And people were asking me, like, how do I know this? And so I, said, this is what he's done to me. And facts ain't defamation. Not defamation when it's true. Okay. I repeated information from the finding of facts or decision in order from his family law case, from his custody case, from his divorce case, whatever. I was actually in possession of a copy of the court order. He disputes it. Okay. He says it didn't happen. He has all these claims. That's fine. The judge still found that, or decided that, with all the evidence that he did this, and it was in a court record, a public court record. So it was a matter of public record. And I said, listen, this is who this guy is. He messaged me. He threatened to fuck me up, and he had made claims about taking people's money. And, I can't remember all of it. I mean, there was so much that went on. So September of last year, I think. Literally, that was the only time I publicly talked about him. It's like that one time. And he likes to say, oh, I use revenge is not a justification or whatever. It wasn't revenge. Just, I was just like, this guy needs to stop. So I clapped back. Okay. I was tired of it. Here's a cancer survivor that he is attacking. Hey, Dave. He's going after a sister breast cancer survivor that boldly made the choice to go with aesthetic flat closure, which I did in 2019. Same year I had my spinal cord stimulator implanted. I went with flat aesthetic closure on one side. So I am a uniboober. I say I'm a uniboobicorn. Make fun of me for that. Whatever. I don't wear a prosthesis. So whatever. Anyways, so he sued me. And he had to sue me in Michigan because I'm in Michigan. And he sued me. He filed the lawsuit shortly before the statute of limitations ran out. I didn't know this. I've never been sued. I've testified in court as an expert witness. I've testified as a medical provider in a case, in death cases. I have testified in a divorce case for a friend of mine. I think that's it. I literally, I think I had one traffic ticket or something. I think I didn't put my registration tag on my car because it was still snowing and it wasn't sticking. So I got a ticket for that and it was dismissed. I think I've been pulled over 5 times, 3 of which were DUI checkpoints at Michigan State University. I have no points on my driving record. I have a perfectly clean driving record. So I've never really been involved with the court system because I have no problem following the laws of society that I live in. We're good to go. I actually found out about the lawsuit during a live chat of I think it was a live stream. Alex, you can correct me. I believe it was a live stream of a court case. I don't know Judge Simpson. Irish Demon is coming here to the U.S. in the spring, and he's going to come here to Michigan, and him and I are going to go together and meet Judge Simpson. I'm actually kind of excited about that. I do love Judge Simpson. I adore that man. I think he's awesome. So I will hopefully meet Judge Simpson. Where was I at? So I don't have involvement of the courts. I haven't really had a reason to. The only recent interaction I had had before this with the courts is when I got married. That was it. Getting my marriage license. So, yeah. No involvement with the courts. I just follow the rules. I live a pretty quiet life. Honestly, I'm pretty boring. I think I'm pretty boring. I mean, my hobbies are spinning yarn and knitting shit and canning food and prepping, doing some prepping stuff. You can see I have an upright floor loom behind me that was from the 1800s. That's why it looks crazy. You can't really see it, but those are strings for weaving tapestry. I restore antique furniture. I have multiple antique sewing machines. The only modern sewing machine I have is my serger, which I don't use it. I don't like it. I literally sew everything with a portable electric Singer sewing machine from 1927. And I also use my Treadle 1800 sewing machine. So, yeah. And okay, don't have an involvement with the courts. I don't know how any of it works, really. I mean, I know a little bit criminal stuff. I know the domestic violence stuff from having kind of worked in that field or been in that field. And then I knew because I had to take a law and ethics and medicine class, which I don't know. I've watched Judge Simpson. He is wonderful. I'm so jealous. Yeah, I think he's good. He cracks me up most of the time. But yeah, so okay, no real involvement with the court system. During this live stream, there was, I think it was the girl that may or may not be his daughter that had made other posts about me. I'm like, okay, I did actually like repost the post. Like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? I don't know who these people are. And it was, you moose knuckle, don't play the victim, yada, yada, yada. You know, you did this yourself. And I'm just like, I didn't know. I was like, what is going on? I didn't know. I had no clue what was going on because I didn't know who these people were. So during this live stream, you know, at that point for over a year, I just ignored everything. And it was, hey, Jess, do you have an attorney? Jessica, do you have an attorney? Do you have a lawyer? Do you have an attorney? And I just ignored it. You know, I was like, whatever, just go away. You annoying little gnat, go away. Well, someone asked, why are they asking you if you have an attorney? And I was like, I don't know. And whoever it was then put the comment, you're getting sued. And I was like, what? So, like, I actually looked and I searched in Nevada where he is from, and there was nothing. And so I'm like, well, he should have to sue me here. So I searched here in Michigan, and sure enough, he'd filed a lawsuit. So I left work and I drove 2 miles to the courthouse and I went upstairs and I got the file. I was like, listen, apparently I'm being sued. I had the case number because of the website and I got the file. So I had his lawsuit. I was served, I think 2 weeks later. I had actually already reached out to an attorney. That is my husband's family. There's an attorney. I reached out to him because I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, I've never been sued. I don't even know how this works. And he sued me over the comment about in the finding of facts, and he disputes this, there was allegations that he threatened to shoot up involved his son's school in pew-pews. Apparently now he always said it to his ex-wife, not the actual school. I don't know. I just know that's in the record from the divorce case. That's how I knew about it, because of the divorce case. And I had mentioned it, like, in my opinion, this dude's unhinged, and that bothers him. Like I said, dude, what are you going to sue me again and have it dismissed because you don't have a case? You're going to come after me? Whatever, dude, I'm done with you. You're done. So it was based on that, and he had 3 pieces of evidence, and the second and third piece of evidence actually backed up what I said. Because one was an alleged police report, and actually after I looked at it more, it's actually like a CAD report, which is the computer aided dispatching or whatever. So it was kind of like I said what the call was and that they didn't do it, but there was no police report. There was not an actual report. There was not a report number. It was the dispatching system. And it verified that they did respond. There was a call about a purported threat to pew, a school. Okay, that's what was alleged. That is what the judge said. He found that it did happen. There was evidence for it, whatever. Then there was a letter, I guess it was from the attorney of the security company from The school? I'm not sure, but it even talks about how he was threatening litigation. And his thing is, oh, I didn't threaten, I threatened litigation. A threat is a threat. End of the day, a threat is a threat. It doesn't matter if it's a threat against your well-being, physical confrontation, litigation, monetary. A threat is a threat. But yeah, his two pieces of evidence said, well, what I said actually occurred. And that's what he sued me over. And I hired, actually, she's my friend, and she is a bulldog, and she is kick-ass, and I've testified for her and against her in court, and I would never want to be up against her. She is amazing, and I love her. I love her dearly. And I'm lucky that she's my friend, because I immediately called her, and I'm like, I need your help, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So he filed motions, and I have to pull the files up, because he filed the initial complaint. He filed, I don't know if that included like the prayer for relief. He filed like for discovery. He filed for sanctions, I think, against me and against my attorney. I mean, he filed stuff, a lot of stuff. And I literally oh, you need to go, Tony. That's good. I know it's late where you're at in England. I'm a good in and good luck. Okay, thank you. This will be left up later. So sorry. He filed all these motions. I'm talking to my attorney, and I told her, I was like, this is insane. This is something I was like, you don't understand how bizarre this is. And to this day, she will tell you, I've never seen anything like this. My attorneys have never seen anything like this. I was sued for defamation over a Facebook comment based on what was said to me, what was said about me, and public record from court cases for defamation. Again, facts ain't defamation. Neither is my opinion. Neither is how I feel. Okay? I felt threatened. You threatened to F all you, or you all you cunts up. You are my worst effing nightmare. You made threats through my attorney that you were going to take all of my money, all of her money. You perfectly filed frivolous motions, and you know that they were frivolous, and my frivolous. The court, the judge said they were frivolous, and guess what? The Michigan Court of Appeals agreed with her. Your shit was frivolous. Yes, I'm angry. I've not been able to talk about this, and I'm so glad that I get to talk about this. This dude, I will not stand for this anymore. He's been doing this to people. I did look up who he was, and I went back all the way through 2008, I think, and it was a radio show where people didn't agree with him, and he's like, I'm going to sue you, all this, all that. So it's like kind of, from what I could see, in my opinion, he's essentially making the same threats over and over. And that's my opinion from what I read, and I would have to relook stuff up. I don't want to anymore. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, my attorney is like, okay. He emailed my attorney multiple times a day. He would call her. He called her, and she sort of was listening to him. He tried to, I guess, tell her a sob story. He's like, doesn't have money. He's this, I'm this vicious person, and I've lied about him. Yeah, I've been through a lot. It's been insane. Actually, you can ask Alex from our Nevada judges. He knows all of it. He's known all of it in real time. It's fucking insane. So yeah, like, he tried to tell her the sob story, tried to keep her on the phone for a long time, and she's finally like, she had to go. She had something that she had to do. I don't know if she had a case or something, but she was like, she texted me, call me. And I was like, what the hell, man? And then he was like emailing her multiple times a day. And my understanding, I have not seen all of the emails. Because she didn't, I don't know if she forwarded everything to me. But my understanding of what is he would email sort of nonsense, but then at the end of the email, make it about the case, which then makes it billable hours. He knows that because he's a licensed attorney in California. So he understands how that works. And he knew I was paying for this. And so this was going on. I finally was like, hey, Ina, shit, that's my attorney's name, okay? I was like, don't respond to every single email. I'm like, I know you have to respond because you're my attorney, but I was like, respond once a day. You're born in California. I was born in Oklahoma, so yay, go Sooners. You'll hear me say Boomer Sooner, and I'm not talking about my parents' generation. Anyway, sorry, that is the ADHD. So it was to where she was responding only once a day if she absolutely had to respond. He filed something, I guess, against her in the state bar or something, which didn't go anywhere. They were like, no. I do somewhere have that. She may not want me to talk about that, so I'm not going to go into detail, but he did try and file some complaint or something to the state of Michigan, and it was denied. But he threatened to sue her. He filed motions for sanctions against her. He bragged that he was going to take all of our money, but then he also bragged about being uncollectible, as in he had no money. In Michigan, if you're going to countersue someone, you have to file the countersuit when you file your response. And it was like, I think by that point he had already talked about he was uncollectible, but I was like, I just want this guy to go away. Like, I have been ignoring him for the last year. You know, whatever he's going to say, what he's going to say, he can go fuck himself. I'm done with it. You know, that was sort of my whole thing. It was like, just go away. Like, he might not like to hear this, but has no significant meaning in my life. He's a troll from the internet. Until he interjected himself in my life, and he did not know who he was going up against. Because he picked the wrong bitch. He picked the wrong bitch. He picked the wrong bitch with the right friends. Okay? My attorney is a bulldog. She will not let it go. She does not like bullying. Listen, my attorney was good friends with Beth Chapman, as in Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife. If you ever watch their shows, you know how much of a hard ass she was. Okay? She's still in regular communication with Dog, which is fine. That's cool. I watched the show. It was interesting. I actually didn't know that until a couple of years ago. So she's been friends with these people. But if she's friends with people like that, obviously she doesn't tolerate. She won't stand for it. And the fact of the matter was he was bullying me. He was trying to... Is he a narcissist? I do believe that he is. In my opinion, he does show signs of narcissism. There are allegations and findings of facts about domestic violence. I will go into that later. Let's just say the things that allegedly happened, that the judge said happened, are pretty horrific. And this is, yes, R.I.P. Beth Chapman, absolutely. Her and I actually didn't get along. Her and I got into it over the internet one time. And it was just a misunderstanding, and then we made peace, and I didn't have any contact with her after that. Anyways, I am putting his stuff out there. Go ahead and sue me again, because you still won't win. You know the whole Kate always wins? Yeah, I'm going to win. Because what, are you going to sue me over facts? You're going to sue me over court findings, court orders, evidence you filed, evidence that I have. You're going to sue me over that. Okay. Are you going to make memes about me and post them on Facebook? Are you going to mock me? You're going to encourage people to call me a meth head and a crackhead? Guess what, motherfucker? I'm too fat to use any of those. Okay? Yes, they do. Narcissists hate empaths, and I am definitely a huge empath. So I don't know if he's watching. I have a feeling he will at some point watch this, because the order came through yesterday where the Court of Appeals upheld the lower court's dismissal of his lawsuit. End of the day. He lost. Again. Actually, my appellate attorney's opening line or whatever in their response brief to the Court of Appeals was along the lines of, this is a case of something that this person is familiar with, losing court cases. That was literally filed like 3 weeks after I had my spine fused. I had just been home for like a week from the hospital. And I got it when I had a nurse coming into my home to visit and check on me. And I wish I could have been able to jump up and down, because I was like, yes. And I was like, yes. And this poor nurse walks in on this. And I was like, sorry, I just got really great thing. I was laughing. It was shots fired. It was awesome. And I will be covering it. I will read all this stuff. I'm going to be posting these documents. Again, facts ain't defamation. So that's kind of how this all started. He started trolling and bullying me on Facebook, went to Instagram. I mean, he was taking screenshots of my videos on TikTok. Like, in my opinion, that's pretty pathetic. And in my opinion, that kind of makes you a loser. Like, he went hard after me. I don't know if he thought I was weak, but I'll say it again. He picked the wrong bitch. Michigan does not have vexatious litigation statutes rules. There's not been anything like this. We don't have anti-slap stuff here in the state of Michigan. Guess what, motherfucker? You just allowed precedents to be set with your LOL suit. Yeah. So now I am going to run with this. I am going to make sure that this cannot happen to somebody else. Okay? Because if I can set the precedence for that here in Michigan. Hi from Holland. I first talked about some of the Michigan court cases that I have coming up, a really horrible one. And then I actually am finally able to talk about the lawsuit that was filed against me, that the Michigan Court of Appeals actually upheld the dismissal of the lawsuit. I got the order yesterday. That's what I'm talking about, sort of how it all started. Because it's been 2 years. This has been going on for 2 years. So, yeah. He filed all these motions. One of the things he argued in his appeal was that the judge was unfair dismissing his case because, there was never a hearing, so he wasn't allowed to present his evidence. Well, he never scheduled a hearing. Never. He filed so many motions, filed for discovery, filed a demand for an order to make me reactivate my Facebook, claiming I was destroying evidence. I deactivated my Facebook, because I actually deactivated, I think, all my social media, because he was getting my images and he was still posting about me. And I was like, what the hell, dude? Like, really? Like, you have that much time on your hands to do this? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm not that important. I'm just me. Like, a fat, mostly white bitch from Michigan. Like, okay, I watch court cases on YouTube. Woohoo! That makes me a target, I guess. Anyways, technically had one hearing. My attorney, an order or a motion for a surety of cost, which is a bond that, because he's out of state, that he would have to, if the judge, it's weird. So what it is the judge would base solely on the evidence and filings of the plaintiff. And like, it depends on location, that kind of stuff. Was there a strong likelihood based solely on what he's filed and his evidence provided? And then I don't know if it actually even included the evidence that we filed in a response. I don't think it did. I don't know. I'd have to reread. So there is that. And then we had filed for a motion for an order of protection. And the order of protection, actually, he had been threatening for a deposition. He actually served my attorney with a deposition date of November 5th, 2021 in Grand Rapids, which is an hour away from where I live and where I was working at the time. And it was like 11:30, started 11:30 in the afternoon or something, or morning. And he knows that my attorney would be paid for driving both ways. I believe it was just to try and drive up costs. Well, in Michigan, fun little fact, if you do a deposition, it has to be in the county where the person works or resides, which is where I'm at, or away. So he had posted about it like, haha, we're doing a deposition on the truth's going to come out, because he was claiming that I'm a paid online troll, whatever. I didn't get paid for any of it. If he still wants to say I'm paid for this, please, seriously, tell me who is supposed to be paying me, because I have not received a fucking dime for this. Right? I want to know who's supposed to pay me, because nobody. I have not gotten a penny for this. So anyways, he then claimed that he had a conflicting schedule or something came up, whatever. But the order for protection actually was because of my health. Like I said, in August, I had my lumbar spine fused. Yeah, I was working, but I was working where my husband worked. I had a yoga mat. I was able to lay down on the floor if I needed because of pain. I had 3 different types of chairs I can sit in. I didn't have a schedule. I could come and go, work as much or as little as I was able to around my health stuff. So, like at this point, I was using a cane full time. I was getting injections into my spine and epidurals every 2 weeks and had been doing that for quite some time, and nothing was working. Hence, this is why I had my spine fused. So it's in the middle of this, and I talked about at the beginning, my brain injury, my pituitary gland is gone. It's called empty cell syndrome. I have secondary adrenal insufficiency, empty cell syndrome. So my body does not produce the hormones that your pituitary gland does, which includes cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It's a natural steroid your body produces. So my sympathetic nervous system, when I am stressed or sick, whatever, your body releases is called ATH, I think is what it is. And because I don't have a pituitary gland anymore, that doesn't get produced. So my adrenal glands don't release this cortisol. So I literally have to take hydrocortisone twice a day, every day for the rest of my life. Because my body can't produce it, when times when you're stressed out, your body releases more of it. When you're not stressed out, it releases less. Because I have to take it orally, I don't get that fluctuation. When I have surgeries and stuff, I have to, for several days, take increased doses. I get massive doses of steroids before, during, after surgeries. So the stress of all of it, I mean, it was getting to me. I have CPTSD. It was literally, it was out of my control. It had nothing to do with me. He's just, in my opinion, an internet troll and bully with too much time on his hands, who apparently thought he was coming after a weak bitch and apparently get some money. Fucker, I'm on disability, okay? What money are you gonna get? None. My disability can't be garnished. I don't know why you think I've got any sort of money, because I really don't. So that was the order of protection. What it was for is to sit down in Michigan. When they do a deposition, you have 7 hours during one day to do it. There was no way, because at the time I could sit for about 15 minutes at a time before I was in too much pain. So I was constantly having to move around, lay on the floor, sit, walk around, constantly stretching. The other thing is the pain medicine. So I couldn't have been under oath testifying because I was on narcotic pain medicine. It's how I was, and it wasn't even really, it was just taking the edge off the pain. So like there was no way I physically could have handled doing a deposition. Plus, I mean, in his, what was it called? Discovery, his motions for discovery. I have a money tree outside. Where? I wish I did. I mean, my parents told me money doesn't grow on trees. I mean, if you know where it actually grows, you know. I do geocaching, so I like know how to do all that finding Tupperware in a wood using $1 million government satellites. I'm pretty good at finding stuff. So if there's a money tree, let me know. Like even the GPS location, I'll go find it because I'd like to have it. It'd be nice. First thing I do is I'd get my teeth fixed. So, and I've addressed the teeth issue before. And if you want to come after me for my teeth, great. I broke. Literally, the roots of all my teeth were broken. I've dumped, at this point, probably $30,000 into my mouth. I've had bone grafts on my upper and lower jaws so that I could try and get to do dental implants. And that, it got to where it wasn't feasible because I don't have any more money. Part of the issue is I had a dentist as a child that has lost his dental license twice, now permanently. He has spent time in prison for CSC. The newspaper, there's articles about him. He was referred to as a sadist. I've had root canals with absolutely zero anesthetic, no numbing medication, no nitrous oxide. I literally white-knuckled root canals. Yeah, and I'm still smiling. Yes, I am still smiling. I'll say it again. I am not the bitch. You are not going to take me down. I am resilient, and part of this is I know it's bigger than me. And this is way beyond me, and I will fight for the little guys. You know, I get asked, why do you think you've been put through everything you've been put through with all of my health shit, with my history of ab use, being part of the 93% of the women in the United States. Why have I been put through that? Because I can handle it. It's not easy. I do have the complex PTSD. If I can be caught off guard if there's too many people around. One of the big ones is my ex. He had red hair and he had a buzz cut. So a man with like buzzed hair and a red goatee, I am now able to not completely disassociate from that, which that was always fun when that happened. But it still gets me. Like I live in a little village, like literally there is a name in the village or a street in the village named after my husband's family. When him and I started dating, within a couple weeks, everyone knew who I was. And they're like, oh, you must be dating Mr. C. And I was like, how do you know me? I literally called it my demon-possessed village because I was like, I came from a small town. And then it was like, everybody knew who I was. And I was like, I've only been around like a month. How do people know me? I love it now. But where was I? Freaking ADHD. Oh, squirrel! That's me. That's part of the reason why I drink so much caffeine, because I don't use Adderall or anything like that anymore. I stopped taking that in college, and it's been better for me. And that's just another thing. So why have I been through this? Because I'm strong enough to handle it. There have been many times where I thought I would break. I will admit that this lawsuit at times has really gotten to me, because it's out of my control, and nobody does well when things are completely out of their control. It's not easy. And the mantra that I always use is, it will get better. It will get better. One of the things that I started doing when I was a kid is planning for the worst, hoping for the best, and hopefully it comes out somewhere in the middle. So I literally went through like, Fritz, hey, yeah, Fritz, yeah, post, stupid ass post, now. Sorry, my dog does know Polish, some limited Polish. um, so, I mean, Mr. C is going to be, what time is it? He's going to be pulling in any second, actually. So the dogs are going to go crazy in a minute. So that's how I kind of approach everything is I really kind of plan for the worst and hope for the best. And if it's somewhere in between, good. That's how I deal with things. But when I'm going through a tough time, I'm like, okay, it'll get better. It'll get better. This can't go on forever. There will be some sort of a resolution in the end. And any of my doctors will tell you I'm very impatient. I'm impatient with my healing, with recovery. I'm impatient that things just need to happen because I'm done with it. And I am like that with everything. I'm so damn impatient. It's hilarious. I actually get yelled at by my doctors. I'm like, dude, give yourself a break. It's going to take time. Yeah. And I do it with a smile. Because guess what? I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still warm fed. I have people that love me. I have purpose and meaning in my life. I have fun shit that I can do. I'm doing something now that I like to do. Yes, that is so me. I always think the worst and hope for the best. I think that's the best way to approach stuff with life, especially bad stuff, or even like when I'm planning a vacation. I run through okay, so this could happen. So what are we going to have in place in case that happens so that we can, my husband has OCD and we have come to realize that he is possibly on the autism spectrum. So like last minute changes don't work for him. He struggles with that. So with him especially, I kind of have to really everything and kind of all possible scenarios. And I'll tell him about it. Then he freaks out for a little bit, but then he like calms down. And I'm like, okay, so this is how, this is where we're at. And I'll admit, we are in therapy. We go to couples therapy every week, almost every week, unless something comes up between dealing with my trauma and, like my triggering trauma when I'm triggered, it triggers him. His being triggered triggers me, and it's a vicious cycle. So yeah, we're in therapy because I think everyone should be in therapy. Seriously, every person needs to be in therapy. Even if you don't think you have trauma, there's something. You always need someone to talk to. So we're in therapy for that, which has helped us immensely just to have like a buffer with some stuff. Because I'll be like, okay, so this is what's going on. Tell our therapist, and then, get Mr. C's input, whatever. And then we try to come to a conclusion. Yeah, we're in therapy. I have mental health issues. I am not ashamed of it. I have been on mental health medication. I have checked myself into the fucking psych ward after the incident with my ex. I tried to unalive myself because he told the police that he was going to unalive me the next day. They didn't arrest him. They let him go to his mom's house to sober up. I wasn't going to let him do that. I was not going to let him have that control over me. So yeah, I needed help. I didn't realize that it was a combo of the ADHD and a sustained PTSD trauma reaction. And it took a while. Oddly enough, when I moved in with my husband, 2 weeks later, I was off all psychiatric medication. I didn't need any of it. I was stable again, because I was in a safe place. Uh-oh. You don't remove your messages. Leave them up. I didn't get to read it. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. I do have a history. Well, I have ADHD, of course. When you have ADHD as a child, you see a psychiatrist. I've seen psychiatrists. I still have a therapist. That makes me, in my opinion, an emotionally healthy person. Yes, that is why I have you guys. Oh no, you didn't mess up. I was just picking on you. Dirty deletes. Anyways. So I don't even remember where I was at now. Holy crap. Now I know why Irish Demons, like, where was I? So the order of protection. So yes, we had filed the motion for the order of protection. to do it, like, it wasn't to not do a deposition. It was to do a deposition in writing. You know, that way there was not the immediate physical stress on me. The physical stress, the emotional stress, you know, even having it done over video, he would have had the ability to record it, use my images in any way, shape, or form that he saw fit, because that was what he was doing up until that point. Literally, the last post he posted about me was October 4th of last year, the night before our hearing. And he had filed a response, or no. I don't remember if we had his response motion to the motion for the order of protection and the surety of cost. But what he did file, the judge was basically like, no, I'm throwing this out, because he actually addressed the order of protection and not the surety bond thing. But the judge, and I will read it, but literally in his response to the order of protection, he called me a wackadoo, I think it was a wackadoo hypochondriac. He accused me of being one of his millions or thousands of adoring fans. Mr. C's home. Fritz, I know, it's Dad. Calm down, Bubba. Luna, where are you at? Oh, she's in her kennel. I mean, some of the claims that he made was like, what are you talking about? I wasn't going to his Facebook page. I literally was getting messages from people saying, hey, there's another post about you. And I was like, great. I would go and I would take screenshots and save it. I have thousands of screenshots. Literally everything. I have screenshots of all of it, including the stuff that has been deleted. I have it all. All of it. And so one of his prayers for request was that I remove all comments and mentions of him. He put that in his lawsuit that he filed, his initial lawsuit. Well, in good faith, I went back to the Nevada court watchers, where I had like that. I didn't talk about him on my personal page. I couldn't go back and remove the comments that he was suing me over, because I think the page was removed, or he removed the page. But the comments didn't exist anymore, and it was a page that he had control over. So for whatever, that page was gone at that point, so I couldn't remove those. But I literally removed every comment. I unliked everything, or eliminated. The only thing that was left in the Nevada Court Watchers Facebook group was the list of playlists that I had made on my YouTube channel. That was my big YouTube channel, was I had made playlists of court cases. And that was the only thing that I had left, because he asked me to remove all, any comments about, okay, you asked me to do it. All right, I'll do it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, because he demanded it, which oddly enough, he then filed a motion trying to sanction me and accusing me of committing a crime of destroying evidence. Because I ended up disabling my Facebook account because, like I said, he was still getting my images. That was funny. It was like, I literally did what you asked me to do. He's literally sent ultimatums to my attorney. I'm sorry, you don't give me an ultimatum. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you don't. That's not going to go well for you. Yeah, you can ask Mr. C. I am my own person, and you really can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I am a very independent woman. I am a very strong woman. Mr. C is my husband. My last name, hopefully Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind see this. My last name is pronounced Karis. Karis. So I call my husband Mr. C. Just because I do. Because everyone else refers to their Mr. or Mrs. as like bits and pieces, says Mrs. Bits, and Irish is it's Mrs. Demon, and I know there's other people that refer to their significant other by Mr. or Mrs. whatever. So Mr. C is my husband, and he's fucking amazing, and I lucked out with him. Anyways, so we had that hearing November 5th. And the judge did, dismiss his response because it was not in proper format. It was inappropriate. The things he said were not appropriate. He was not being professional, but she did allow him to refile the motion. No, you're kind of bummed out today? Don't be bummed out. There's nothing to be bummed out. I mean, things might not be great today, but you know what? It can be better tomorrow. Because it'll change at some point, and it'll get better. It always gets better, even if sometimes it gets a little bit worse. It will eventually get better. I'm living proof of that. So, yes, the judge did his response, but did allow him to response. She actually set aside the hearing for the order of protection. She did hear the motion of ours for the surety of costs, which my attorney requested a $5,000 bond because that was what I had to pay for her retainer fee. And the judge looked at it and she stated the laws or whatever, and she said, these are the reasons why I don't think you have a very strong case. If I were to judge, I have the transcript and I can read it. Essentially, it boils down, she was like, based on what I have in front of me today, you don't really have a strong case. Like, you don't have a strong likelihood of succeeding, which is the threshold for this little law that we have for a surety of cost. It can be for someone that lives outside of Michigan, someone that moves out of Michigan is still suing someone, someone that brags about being indigent or uncollectible, and it essentially is put up or shut up. If you want to continue this case, you're going to put some money down in trust with the court. That way, if I'm successful, I at least can get some recourse, something. And the judge ordered that. He immediately appealed it with her. She denied it. He then actually filed the motion for an official written appeal, I think, whatever, which she again denied. He didn't, she followed the rule. In Michigan, the judge is allowed to say, in an order, as stated on the record. They don't have to list out every little thing, or they do kind of list the law, but it literally can be, as on the record. And that is sufficient for a judgment, and that still allows an order to be valid. So he missed the deadline for the first deadline to pay the bond, but he filed an appeal with the lower court, which was 9, so he got an extra 30 days, 31 days, whatever. And he missed that again, so the judge dismissed it. There was already the proposed order to dismiss it. She dismissed it because he didn't follow the order, which was pay a $5,000 bond. And I'm not sure how it works. I would assume he had to use a bonding agency in Michigan, or cough up a check or money to put with court clerks. I don't know how that works. I didn't really ask about it, but it didn't happen. He was given 2 separate deadlines. It didn't happen. He then afterwards filed for a change of address, and he has a mailing address. He apparently has an address here in Michigan. It's still on file. That's what he uses in all of his filings from there out, which it was kind of strange. It was like, what's going on? Because he had already had, I think it was at that point he had the final order. Well, then he filed an appeal to the Michigan Court of Appeals. And he actually signed an affidavit, swore that he actually served me by certified mail. First of all, I have an attorney on file, you fuck. So you admit to contacting me directly. Not that I got anything. By the way, neither did my attorney. Okay? My attorney was notified about the appeal from the state of Michigan because she's in the e-file service. That's how she found out. That's how I found out about the appeal. Not because I was served. It was because the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court sent it to her. So one of his claims is he's never had direct contact with me. You swore under oath on a court document that you contacted me by mail. Yeah. Okay. So please tell me again how you've never directly contacted me. How there's never been any interaction. You don't know me. You're right. I don't know you. You and I do not know each other. I don't want to know you. You picked me as a target on Facebook. You messaged me first. You made comments on my Facebook post. There were comments made by your associates on your behalf on my Instagram. There were fake Facebook accounts made using my image, saying something about a different county, like the special education, being from Hell, Michigan, which actually there is a Hell, Michigan, using my image, using a fake name. I have screenshots of all of that, okay, saying some pretty disgusting shit about me. So I'm assuming, right, my belief is, and I think he made these accounts because I believe he trolls and makes fake accounts all the time. So obviously I was like, reached out to a couple of people like, hey, just report this. Yep, I did. I reported it. I had a lot of people report it because that's some weak sauce, man. Like, really? You're that petty? You are that damn petty. Like, Georgia Peach, she's not in here. Georgia Peach is not in here. And I was sort of listening to Mike's live stream for a little bit. It was actually, if you go to the, it was playing, you could hear it. So he filed the appeal, which I then hired essentially one of the best appellate firms in Michigan. And in the appeal, he was still asking for monetary damages against me. He was saying like damages per se, which is not something that happens in Michigan. Literally the damages that you can get when you're suing someone for defamation, you can only get your costs, which are actual costs, not other states. They do like, oh, if there's like a flat rate that attorneys would be paid. That's not here in Michigan. So if I were ordered to pay costs, it would have been his filing fees, whatever he paid to have me serve. Oh, by the way, yeah, that cop you hired to serve me, the day he served me, he turned around and said, let me know if I can help you in any way. I'm on your side. So you annoyed him enough that what he told me, what I believe, is he was on my side because he offered it. Yeah. So, Luna, sweetheart, I know, it's Dad. He's coming in right now. Luna, I'm surprised Fritz isn't barking, guys. Luna, this is the pandemonium of my life every day. Hey, babe, I am live, so you know. So yeah, he filed the appeal. We had it. We finally, like, he's dragged out every point in this case. Like he got several warnings from the courts because he didn't file something right or he was missing something, and he late filed. How many times did he miss the filing?
I don't know.
Like 3 times or something. I have to look it up. It's all matter of record, so it's public record, guys. So it's not defamation, and truth is not defamation, and it's my opinion and allegedly. So, anyways, he did finally file his appellant appeals brief. Then my attorneys filed the response brief, and then the court made him redo his brief because it wasn't the right format, which sort of is, in my opinion, normal for him. So then he got to file a response brief, but my attorneys also immediately filed a motion for an order to affirm the underlying case decision, which was dismissing the case. He asked for oral arguments. He lost his right to oral arguments because he asked for these extensions to file, But then we asked for oral arguments, and our response, we were granted oral arguments, and we were waiting. Like, they had sent something out about, we'll tell you when the next open session is. We need to know dates. They only hear cases between like the 1st and 17th of every month. So we were waiting for this, oral arguments time. And one of the things was oral arguments in Michigan are in person. So he was going to have to come here to Michigan. I don't think he knew that. I did hint at it the other day in our Nevada judge's video of him suing his ex-wife's attorney because he's talking about he was going to appeal. And I was like, well, if he were to appeal here in Michigan, the Court of Appeals, they're oral arguments. You were warned ahead of time, just so you know. But then yesterday, so I was waiting for the order or the dates for the oral arguments. I had been in contact with Alex from our Nevada judges, and him and I will be going over all of this. But he actually had a motion ready because he was going to come here to Michigan to live stream the oral arguments, which are already live streamed by the Court of Appeals. But he's media, so he was going to come here because of all the stuff in Nevada that he's got going on. So that was going to be fun. I was actually looking forward to Alex and Brittany coming here for a visit. So I might have to meet up with them somewhere not in Las Vegas. I never had a desire to go to Las Vegas. I don't gamble. I think I've been to the casino like 2 or 3 times. Once was to see Dog the Bounty Hunter on a book tour. I've been to the casino maybe twice to actually gamble. Not bingo, though. Bingo is not gambling. Sorry. I love bingo. I'm an old person, I guess. Yeah, that is what narcissists do. In my opinion, he's a narcissist. And in my opinion, he is a user. And in my opinion, he must be unhappy. Like, I don't know why he does this. I don't. Well, at one point, I actually, legitimately felt bad for him, but not anymore. He's done this to himself. There would not have been a lawsuit had he never, ever contacted me, had he never made posts about me. He thought I was attacking him, and I didn't even know who he was, which is just insanity. So yesterday, I got the email. It came in about 3 o'clock. I actually didn't read it till like 7:30ish after dinner. And it was that the Court of Appeals upheld the lower court's decision. So he was denied his appeal. I actually have been back on Facebook, and I have not seen anything from him. If he sees this, I'm sure he is probably going to post about me. Bring it, bitch. Fact ain't defamation. Okay. So, let's see. I can read the order because it is actually right there on my phone. I actually was sort of confused by what it said because it was weird. Hold on, I have to make it big. So it is T. Matthew Phillips v. Jessica Karras, the Court of Appeals, State of Michigan, the order with the docket number, the license number, or whatever. The presiding judge is Amy Ronea Kraus. I don't know if I pronounced that middle name right, but it is the motion to affirm pursuant to MCR 7.211C3 is granted for the reason that the question to be reviewed is so unsubstantial as to need no argument or formal submission. So the Court of Appeals says the shit he's saying is so unsubstantial, it doesn't deserve to be even looked at, dismissed. And that's what it is. The judge even said in court that she, in her opinion, the lawsuit was meant to harass me, was meant to bully me. It was meant to demean me and, to do all this stuff. It was a frivolous lawsuit. And I still believe that. This is how he's been trying to harass me, to get to me, trying to troll me and bully me. he may not like the term bully, but I'm sorry. That is what bullies do. Making fun of me, encouraging people to make comments accusing me of abusing illicit substances. Really? Like, dude, get a life. I don't, whatever. But it's over. I mean, he can file more appeals. It's not going to go anywhere. It's done. So now my real work begins, which is to make sure that this can't happen to other people. He tried to make a victim out of me, and I'm sorry, but I'm not a victim. I'm a fucking survivor. I am a warrior. Okay? Other people have tried to unalive me. I have tried to unalive myself, and guess what? Even I couldn't do it, and I should have. There is no reason I should even be here. But I am. I have a purpose. I don't know if this is fully my purpose, but at the moment, this is my purpose. So now the work begins. Advocacy. Doing what needs to be done so that, one, he can't keep doing this to other people, and that it's setting it up so that this cannot happen to somebody else. The reason why this is so strange in Michigan is because, like, okay, one of the things he said is, oh, well, if there was a crime, she should have went to the police. I did. I went to the state police. And literally they were like, well, it's not a credible threat because they're not in the state. They are not a credible physical threat. Even though it's against the law in Michigan, there is nothing there. They have nothing to go on because this has never happened before. Now it has. So now, for the next person, here we go. We have precedence. It's bigger than me. So is this, obviously there was someone in the live chat trying to bully me, trying to demean me, whatever, claims to be some, I don't even remember who he said he was now, and whatever, come at me. You're not going to do any more worse than what's been done. So yeah, that's kind of it. I've got inquiries from a couple different media people. I will be, Alex Falcone, our Nevada judges, we are going to sit down, I think on my channel, I don't know if you can do it on both channels, but we're going to kind of go over all this. This is where it's at, like I said, this is where the real work begins, that we need to make sure this can't keep happening. There is another recent case of other folks on YouTube where something similar, trying to file defamation lawsuits. Sort of the same thing. It's not quite over comments from a comment from Facebook, but stuff from YouTube, but still, this is stuff that's never happened before, and it's happening. And, unfortunately, there needs to be that precedence case, that catalyst that makes change. And that's me. It's not what I want to be. Hopefully, I'm not remembered for that. I really hope I'm not, because there are way cooler things I'd rather be remembered for, like, manually clamping an arterial bleed on an open radial fracture from a dude that fell 11 stories on a construction site. I want to be known for something cool like that, okay? That's what I want to be known for, not some stupid lawsuit and whatever. So that's what it is. I'm sure Mr. C is probably going to chew my butt out for talking too much about it, but I did talk to my attorneys and covered it with them. There will be more videos. There's going to be a lot more going on with this. Because like I said, there might be more filings. He may try to file another suit, whatever. So yeah, this is the intro into the insanity of my last 2 years. Because of a Facebook group, because of court videos I found on YouTube. And now look at me. I'm here on YouTube 2 years later. I never planned on having a YouTube channel. Shout out to Mr. C. There you go, babe. You got a shout out. He said, okay. I watched Law Talk with Mike. His stuff came up in my suggested feed as well, and I was watching his stuff, and I found Judge Simpson through him, and I started watching Judge Simpson because I love Judge Simpson. There's no secret about that. And I, would send messages to Mike like, oh my gosh, there's this case in Judge Simpson. You need to cover it. And he was like, okay, you need to upload it to YouTube. He literally said, leave it unlisted and send me the link. And I did. And he's like, okay, you need to do your own channel. So that's how that started. Now here I am a couple months later. Look at me. I'm talking about my own case. This has been an insane journey. I am monetized, so that is nice. I am getting some income from YouTube. I don't know how it works exactly. I don't want to grift. I don't want to beg for money, but I'm going to tell you, this case is expensive. And it sucks. You don't want me to say that? Sorry. He did a big sigh. That's at the end of the day, we're still paying for the attorneys. That's money that we didn't, we didn't have. It's been stressful. It's been a stressful year, over a year now, with all of this stuff. There's a crazy case in Judge Simpson's court today. I missed it because I was editing a case that I uploaded this morning, and finally went this afternoon. It finally uploaded. I was on the phone with my attorney for like 2 hours talking about something completely unrelated to this case, actually. And then I was at the doctor's. We did the little 5-minute premiere, and then I was on the phone with Alex Falcone with our Nevada judges. Literally like 2 minutes before, I was like, okay, I'm logging onto my computer. I'll talk to you later, Alex. Like on the phone with him as I was logging in. So I didn't see Judge Simpson today. I think I caught like maybe 10 minutes of him. I will, if it's still up, I'm going to go back and look. I did actually get the case yesterday. I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, where it was like the restaurant thing. It was yesterday. It's Tuesday. So that was today's Tuesday. I got the restaurant thing. That was insane. Like, that's not going to have a lot of commentary from me because that was so bizarre. I'm actually, yes. Are you talking about that restaurant case from yesterday? Because I have that. I do have that case, and it's already, I'm working on editing it. Yep. Okay. I got it. The King Kong, I don't remember the name of it. It is a weird case. I came in on like the second half of it or something, and someone was like, you need to cover this when they saw me in the chat. So I am covering it. I just have been busy and Monday I have my physical therapy. So I just have been busy and haven't quite gotten a chance to get to it yet. And that's my plan. That's what I'm going to work on after this. I'm going to start work on editing. Unfortunately, our internet sucks. We have AT&T. It's horrible. And then the alternate, Mr. C said, is better than the alternative, which is WOW, literally WOW with an exclamation point, the cable company. And it is known as WOW, that's shitty. So we had their service for a while. I don't know if we have the maximum for AT&T. We were at one point at the end of the cable line for AT&T, so we had the best. You subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. I seriously appreciate that. I can't believe how this is all gone. It's insane. Anyway, so our internet sucks. And like we have like a Wi-Fi extender, and if I'm in the bedroom like trying to upload something overnight, I will wake up 10 hours later and it still has not finished uploading. Or I can sit here in like literally a 20-minute video takes 2 or 3 hours. It's horrendous. I'm using Mr. C's laptop right now just because it was right there. And I knew the camera was decent. Otherwise, I'm working on my iPhone 10 with 64 gigabytes of memory. Not enough space for this. So, my PayPal link is down there, guys. super chat, super thanks, super stickers, subscribing, sharing my videos, commenting, getting my stuff out in the algorithm. Some of it's going to be used to help me be able to produce better content, more content, stuff like that. Part of it is going to help cover some of the legal fees that I've incurred. I'm very conflicted about asking for money. I've been struggling with that because it is a thing with YouTube, and now I am monetized, so the money is nice. That income is nice. I did lose my job after surgery because my essentially job was made redundant, so that is gone. I'm not even to a place where I could go back to work right now. I'm still very limited. And I'm like 9 weeks out from surgery. Thank you, Mr. C, for loaning Jess your computer. I think I bought this one. Oh, I didn't? Oh, this is the one I went with your mom to get? We've been through a couple laptops in this house. I have a penchant for killing technology. Not lately. I've been doing really good. So, like, yeah, I hate asking for money. I am very uncomfortable when I'm saying, my link to my PayPal is down below. That's why I keep saying it's to support Fritz and Luna's BarkBox habit, because I don't know. I'm not begging for money.
Just show the people what they want to see.
This is Luna. She has a BarkBox habit. Luna, do you like BarkBox? She's looking. All of their treats are up. No. Yes, I said the magic word, Fritz. Well, Dad can pick you up and bring you up here. I'm not going to pick you up because you don't have your harness on. You don't have no handle. This is Luna. She's a rescue dachshund. See, Dave says hi, Luna. She's more interested in the food being cooked in the kitchen. You're going to get tinkle-sighted, dude.
Yeah, already is.
Oh, boy. We're not picking Fritz up. He's not coming. Okay, sorry. Pandemonium. So that's why you see in my videos, I'm like, support Fritz and Luna's BarkBox habit, because I'm uncomfortable asking for money. If you don't, I'm just going to say this. If you don't have money, you don't have to give money. If you want to help support me, now I can talk about how you can help support me in a more substantial way. Like I said, this whole case is beyond me. This is helping. This is going to help people in the future. Because the case has now happened. Unfortunately, I'm paying for it. So it would be nice, but I'm not going to say do it. I'm not like some grifters out there. If you are able to and you feel inclined to do so, please, every penny honestly is greatly appreciated. I love every comment. I love even the trolls. Your comments still help me in the algorithm, so troll away, people. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm pretty sure I might have to put the link for my PayPal in the description, because I don't think it did. I got to recreate the live stream thing. Anyways, yeah, that's it. That's kind of what's been going on. This is where my interest in, I had the interest before in the court stuff, but this is where, this is why it's become a thing for me. I was accused of it being an obsession, and it's still not an obsession. It's become a passion. Working as a deviant investigator advocate, I helped little people before. So that's where I'm at. I went into medicine to help people. That's like my main thing in life, is to help other people that can't help themselves, people that are too scared to stand up for themselves. That's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm doing. And TMP, you can go fuck yourself. You didn't win. You didn't beat me down. You tried. You so tried. And it didn't work. And I am definitely way stronger than you fucking think I am. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to get off here because dinner's going to be ready shortly. And I'm sure Mr. C wants to watch his own YouTube videos. I don't know if we have to talk about anything. It's our couple time now. So yeah, I've been on here for a little over 2 hours. Thank you everyone that has been here for the live and everyone that is going to catch it later. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love and the support. You're welcome, Dave. I am an oversharer. I'm an undersharer, whatever. I'm going to speak my truth. God gave me a mouth for a reason, and I'm going to use it. Whether it's eating too much food in someone's opinion, whether it's talking too much, not saying the right thing, not being polite, whatever you want to attribute to me, go ahead. Whatever. But yes, I have editing to do because I do have that case from Judge Simpson to get out. It's probably going to take several hours to get it uploaded because it is very long. And I have other content that I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me. I will be putting the link to the PayPal stuff down in the description. Just so you know, like, if you, and this is like for everyone, when you do like super chats, super things like those are great. But like we literally get like less than 50%, I think, somewhere in there of the actual value. I had a super thanks for like $50 the other day, and it was like $24 is what I got. So, oh no, yeah, I was actually running late for the live stream that I had scheduled because I was on the phone with Alex from Our Nevada Judges. So yeah, if you didn't miss it, this is gonna stay up. So feel free to watch it in pieces. It's a little insane. It's crazy and ADHD. Oh my God, there's a squirrel. Yeah, that's me. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Mr. C does not have a channel. He watches. And actually the funny thing is our YouTube accounts aren't linked, but we've started getting suggestions based on what I watch and what he watches. It's kind of weird. Yes, baby girl. Squirrel. So yeah, he just watches. He watches pew pew videos. He watches history stuff. Sword fighting. Yeah, we actually have practiced sabers. Are they sword sabers? He has a Hungarian one. I have a Polish one.
Technically it's German.
Oh, okay. Technically his is German, but we have practiced saber swords.
The Polish saber, and then the other one.
You should go grab them.
Saber. I can't remember the exact year of it, but basically most European armies at one point fielded the equivalent to the
Come
British,
closer so they can hear you.
They fielded the equivalent of a British sword, which was the 1796 light infantry sword, which is kind of a broadish blade, is curved, made for chopping more than like
stabbing people.
So, anyway,
I don't know if you guys all heard that. That is one of the many reasons why I love that man. I love history. I love learning. So does he. I actually, at one point back in the day, went with like Renaissance reenactors, and I was training on like fake battle axe fighting. I throw axes, and I'm pretty damn good. Like, isn't there a local place to throw axes? Yeah, I can't wait till like I'm more recovered because I want to go throw some axes because that's fun. It's a way to get out aggression. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that he really watches. He tells me about it and shows me like really cool, important stuff. I watch court stuff. I watch true crime stuff. You know, those memes that go around about women that watch serial killer or listen to serial killer podcasts as they fall asleep. It's me. Oh, it's mine.
That's the Polish saber.
This is the Polish saber. It's big. That's mine.
The correct length and weight. They're just a little, obviously the blade's thicker than this plastic, whatever, but it's correct weight and length for what it is.
See, Dave says, just talks about court cases, and Mr. C talks about I can't say the word. Oh, anyways, yes. we're both kind of history buffs. That's mine. I don't know if you heard him. He said it's the right length and weight and everything. Just it's plastic. It's not a sharp edge at all, but it's the right weight and balance, and it's for practice. So hopefully when I do better after I've recovered, we are going to go in the backyard and fight each other. We are. We're gonna practice. It's fun to do. We're weird. We're old fashioned like that. I mean, hello, 1800s upright tapestry loom behind me. Antique sewing machines everywhere. I have a solid walnut corner cabinet shelf thing that's from the early 1900s. Yeah. We are old souls, not of this generation. We should get costumes. You know my weapon of choice. No, I'm actually skilled in multiple weapons. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that because that will potentially get me permanently demonetized on YouTube. Let's just say that I'm pretty damn good. Ain't no one walking away. Although we did just get a crossbow for hunt. It's bow season here in Michigan. And so we have not a recurve. Is it a recurve what you have?
What?
Your other bow, not the.
It's a recurve. Yeah.
It's a recurve. Okay, so I am really I was really good with the full long bows. He has a recurve bow. I don't hunt with bows because I have Ehlers-Danlos, which is a connective tissue disorder. So that's my arm straight. So I'm always both arms are that bad. So I'm constantly hitting on my forearm. It looks awful, absolutely awful if I shoot a bow. But we did just get a crossbow. He's taken it out hunting a couple times. It's too heavy right now for me to lift. I still have a 20-pound weight restriction. I can't wait until I can start working on this. I got a Christmas present last year, and I was really actually looking forward to going to your hunting this year. That's not happening. Well, and I'm not going to be able to sit out there, and I'm not, if I get something, I'm not going to be able to field dress it and bring it in. Even with his help, it's not going to happen this year. It's too close to surgery. So hopefully next year I'll be able to. No, I did. We did go to the range with it. I did okay. I did all right with that one. I really didn't. But I did good enough, okay? No one's walking away. But yeah, those are all kind of hobbies for us. If you check out my live stream from last night, I was spinning yarn. That's a hobby I picked up because, no more medicine after the car accident. So I'm just doing what I want, If I enjoy it, if it looks interesting, I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to try it. And one of the other things that I love about Mr. C is he lets me try it. I don't know if we were married yet. I wanted to make a spoon ring. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you take the handle of an antique silver spoon and you cut it, you heat it up, and you make it into a ring that overlaps. And I was like, well, I have these antique silver spoons. I can do this. So I was heating it up on the stove. I didn't know. I didn't do a lot of research, but I knew how it worked. So I was like, I'm going to try this. I watched some videos. I got the spoon portion to actually flatten out. I was using a hammer and a bamboo cutting board. This man didn't even flinch nor ask me what I was doing, and I'm out there banging with the hammer. Nothing. No response. I was like, aren't you wondering what I'm doing? He was like, no. You're trying something. I was like, okay, yep, you're definitely a keeper. So that's one of the many reasons why I'm with this man. I love him to death. He is my rock. He is my support system. He is beyond amazing. And guess what? If you think you're going to get me down, I have a hell of a man that's right there behind me. And if I'm feeling down, he's holding me the fuck up. So it's not just me you're taking on. You're taking on him as well. So that's my life. That is my summary of the last 2 years. Like I said, look for in the next couple of weeks here. Our Nevada judges and I, Alex and I, are going to be sitting down and doing some live streams, sort of encompassing all of this stuff. I have had, like I said, media outlets reach out to me. I will be, kind of dealing with that stuff, working on getting this around. I will be working on some other cases here in Michigan that have been brought to my attention. Unfortunately, it's involving some folks from Michigan LawTube that I am actually disappointed in. But I have a lot of investigating to do. Initially, Alex had talked to me about trying to do like an Our Michigan Judges, but I'm kind of like, there's nothing here like that. Literally, like the live streaming thing is by judge and by county. So Eaton County, they will live stream something and they remove it right away. They will go after folks for recording a live stream. They don't mess around with that. There's other judges, obviously, if you know Judge Simpson, Judge Maribel out of Genesee County, Judge Washington, oh my gosh, Middleton, Judge Gauthier up north. I thought it was in Traverse City. I might be wrong. Anyway, there's judges all over Michigan that do allow, the live streaming. Obviously, that's sort of why we're all here. That's basically what my channel is about. But I am going to do some more stuff looking deeper into cases here in Michigan. Because this is where I live. This is where, half of my family is from. My dad's from Lansing. He's from this area. We moved up here when I was still a kid. This is where I've been. There have been times where I've wanted to move back down to Oklahoma, living on Cherokee Nation. I am, and I said it last night, I am a little bit Native American, but I'm Ojibwe. From now a tribe that is no longer in existence from Maryland, but it's still Ojibwe, it's still Algonquin. But I was born on Cherokee Reservation, Cherokee land. But yeah, I do have that bit of Native American in me. I will talk about sort of that journey in my life. I'm very big into ancestry. I believe fully that, our ancestors live on in us. And there is such things as generational trauma. And these are all facets of my life. And yep, most of you are here for the court videos. But it's also me. And it's my channel. And I'll do what I want. I'm going to talk about this stuff. One layer, please. Okay, my dinner is almost ready. So I'm going to get off here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. This is worse than an Irish goodbye. This is worse than an Irish. This is a Polish goodbye. I think it's worse. That's where you have to literally hug and kiss everybody before you can leave and do it 20 times. Okay, for real. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching later. If you want to support me financially, there's the super thanks. I don't know if you can still do super chats. I think this video is monetized. I'm not sure. I'll be putting in the link for my PayPal. That is also in my about section. I believe my email is there. If there is something you want me to look into, if there's a case you would like me to research, that email is out there. It's jesscarisyt@gmail.com. Obviously, I will try to follow up with cases that have already happened. There is the case from last week with the landlord tenant, whatever, up from Judge Maribel. That case, I didn't catch it if it was on. I looked for it. I couldn't find it, so I don't know if it was actually live streamed. I'm going to look to see if I can find anything about it. Obviously, you guys know I will try to continue stay up to date with cases because sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it's nothing, but it's always fun to sort of have that resolution. So I am out of here. You beautiful people have an amazing evening. I will see you guys later. There we go.